What is it? Your sense of Georgia, and I guess that's coming from a guy that's Florida-centric, or I don't know if you have Florida plates on your truck or a Florida flag in front of your house. What do you sense out of that program? What do you see about what's happening with Georgia right now?
We're keeping this about Carson or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay. It's interesting. I'm a Florida fan, not as much as I used to be because we've got kids all over the country now, and so I pull for them. So when Carson puts on red and black, I'm putting on red and black. That's a fact. But the thing I see from Georgia's program right now is consistency. And you walk through the Georgia hallways and you go through their facility and it's just different. It's professional. You go through everywhere else, and I'm not even talking about Florida, I'm talking about everywhere. There's music everywhere, right? And there's playing around, which is fine. Not at Georgia. Not at Georgia. It's very refined. It's very, this is what we're here to do. It's a business-like approach. It's more of an NFL approach. It's more like walking through the hallways for the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Atlanta Falcons. That's the thing that just immediately hit me when I was up in Athens. Like, this is different. And it even took me a minute to go, how is this different? But that's the way it's different. And I think they've put together a staff of guys that not just know football and not that can just recruit, but they're likable guys, and high school coaches like them, high school players like them. They're not used car salesmen, right? And they're just good dudes out there doing what they love. And I think that's been the thing that Coach Smart has probably done the best of, is I'm gonna put together this professional environment, but I'm gonna place the guys that I think, not just players but coaches, are gonna thrive best in it. I think he's done a masterful job of that.
So you intrigued me. Can you imagine Carson with 4 NFL linemen, 5-star receivers, a pair of 5-star backs, and maybe 6, 7, 8 in the box at all times at Georgia?
The only reason why I can imagine is because that's what Carson sold me on. I did not know he was going to commit to Georgia. No idea. I knew he was going to go to Florida the next week. I knew Georgia was an offer he wanted that came late. And he went up on a weekend that I couldn't make the trip. It was my youngest's birthday. And we were actually at the Florida-Georgia basketball game.
Wow.
When his dad called and said, man, we really like it here. And I thought, okay, well, cool. Who doesn't like Athens?
Yeah.
And then the next morning I was training, and I looked down, and I had over 100 text messages from just everybody. And called him and he said, Coach, this is just where I want to be. And so my first question was, why? And he listed off everything you just said. He said, look, the offense is a fit for me. Jake may or may not be there my freshman year. And if he is, that's great. That's exactly what he told me. He said, if he is, that's fantastic. I can learn from him. And then he listed off, Coach, they're 3 deep on the O-line. And Coach, they've got receivers for days. And Coach, they've got running backs. And he kind of sold me on it. I'm like, well, okay. Not that I needed to be sold, but it was like, okay, the kid has obviously thought this through. And the reality is Georgia did an amazing job of prepping for Carson's visit. And they gave him every single thing he needed to make a decision. There was no pressure. But here's what you need. What else do you need to make a decision? Right? And I think they left there with no questions.